Yo, check this out. I received this in the mail, right? Hello, black man. And I'm so excited about it. This is a journal to help black men articulate their feelings, express their feelings. Hell, just acknowledge that we have them in a safe and honest way. And hopefully, it will translate into other parts of your life. I get it. As a black man, a lot of us weren't encouraged or taught to talk about our feelings. As a kid, when you fail and hurt yourself, your parents told you to get up. You're a big boy. Big boys don't cry. That right there is a hard lesson to unlearn, and it's very hurtful. Because when we become older, we don't know how to express ourselves. We don't know how to talk about our feelings. We don't know how to have a conversation without lashing out or using profanity or getting upset and becoming violent because we weren't taught. But this, man, is essential, not just to each one of us becoming a better person, but a society of men being able to express themselves is priceless. So if you want to become the best version of you that you can do, check out helloblackman.com. Grab the journal, actually journal in it, be honest, be open, and be accessible to your feelings and embrace them.
And what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the next episode of the Hello Black Man podcast. If you're in, man, thanks for tuning in. Tap in, hit that share, like. Let's comment, subscribe, wherever you may be. If you're out there in YouTube land, if you're on my personal page, or if you're on the Hello Black Man page, man, we appreciate you jumping in. Every segment, transparency, communication, we're going to push. We thank you for all the motivating inboxes and texts and things of that nature of what you see we're doing. And what we are doing is for community growth. It's not for anything, no personal gain. People say, you want to be famous? No, I just want to be familiar. I want to be familiar with a shift. I want to be familiar with the shift that we have the opportunity to make. So I appreciate everybody that is tuning in. Tonight we have a phenomenal young man by the name of Trey Styles. He'll be on with us and just sharing some of the things that he is doing as far as helping his community out. And it is so, I guess, enlightening. And it's one of those things where you can see things that other people are doing that are motivating to me. And he's one of those guys, man. You always stay in touch, always stay tapped in, watch what he's doing. And this the road he is on is a phenomenal road. So we'll be able to tap in with him. For my people in and around the Copiah County area near Hazelhurst, Mississippi, we did an event this past weekend called Bridging the Gap. Demario Bell, Mr. Darrell Johnson, Damian Gary, Bo McKenzie, everybody. A list of names. We had a DJ pop up that give us some free time. We had, shaved ice, meat, food, game for the kids. Amy, just everybody came out, man. Much appreciated. It is one of those things where it doesn't matter who put things like that on. It really doesn't. What we want to see as a community is things like that be successful. It doesn't matter who paid for what, who this and the other. And man, it's a great group of guys that we were working with. Literally, I heard there was no kickback on anything need to be paid for, about this and the other. Like, okay, bet, okay, I got it. Okay, no problem. Hey, we're here. Bring the kids on. Just a great time. And so I just want to make sure I give a shout out to that community and everything that we were doing. But tonight, it is Mr. Trey Styles. We have his information scrolling. Do you say strolling? Do you say scrolling? I said scrolling with a C. Strolling is like walking to me, taking a stroll. From scrolling, it's kind of like what's going across. So this is a scroll. So what is scrolling at the bottom? It's at the bottom of the screen is Mr. Trey Styles' IG and his Facebook page. Without further ado, we're going to bring on a phenomenal young man, Mr. Trey Styles. What's up with you, big dog?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me. I appreciate the introduction, man. That was
Yes,
real nice.
sir. Yes, sir,
That
man.
was
What's
real
been up
nice right
with you,
there.
man? Hey, listen, we'll cut to the chase. I've been kind of talking a little bit here tonight. Just tell the viewers who you are. That's the first thing. Who are you?
Okay. Well, let me get this straight for you. Sorry about that. Well,
Listen, listen. I do the same thing when I be trying to turn my camera. I be going the wrong way. I be like, okay,
yeah, I'm trying to make sure I'm going to, there we go. There we
right.
go.
You want to go this way. You know what you need to do. You know how you need to even it up. But then when
Right.
you move, you're like, I'm making it worse.
I'm over here. Yeah, but thanks, brother. I really, really appreciate you having me on. But I want to let you know I really enjoy y'all content. I think that's wonderful what y'all doing with the journals and things. That's something that's definitely needed in our community.
Mhm.
But like I said, my name is Trey Styles. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Uh, and growing up in Detroit, it's a tough place. But still a lot of love there.
Yeah.
So growing up in Detroit, what got me to the point where I'm at right now is I was born into working class, working poor community. I was born into a family with a lot of trouble. It's like a lot of our family, like a lot of black families throughout America. I grew up in an environment I have a lot of male role models around,
Right.
and so when I was coming up, coming from a harder environment, everything was about being tough. Everything was about being hard. Everything was about being unfeeling. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
so coming up in that, I experienced a catastrophic event at the age of 14. I witnessed a fatal shooting that was very close to home, and I had to go to the trial. I had to be a witness to it, and that changed the whole trajectory of my life because I going through that I was paranoid. I was scared to live. I was scared to go anywhere because I was worried about retaliation and
Yeah.
people saying something to me, and it just put me in a deep seated depression. And a very deep seated depression. I wanted to commit suicide. Only three things stopped me from committing suicide. One, I was scared to do it. Two, I didn't want to leave my mom. And three, I was brought to believe that if you committed suicide, you would go to hell at that time.
Yep.
So what I was brought to believe. So I was looking for some form of an escape. I wasn't going to do drugs because that was all around me. I know
Yep.
I didn't want to do that because I saw how people ended up who use drugs. So I was looking for some form of an escape. And what happened with me is I started reading. I saw the Malcolm X movie created by Spike Lee, and what stood out to me was when they looked at the word black, and I just found that so interesting to see that's
Yep.
what the word black meant in the
All
dictionary.
niggas.
Yes, and Brother Malcolm was born in 1925, so when he was in prison, that was the 40s. So I was born in 1989 in Detroit, Michigan. So by the time I picked up the dictionary to really look at it, look up the word black, because I never thought to look up the word black until I saw that movie.
Right.
I was amazed that the same definition was still there after all these years. I was like, it was almost a century later, and it's still there. So from there, I started. I was looking for some kind of role model,
Right.
and I found that role model in Malcolm X. I read every book I could find on Malcolm X. I even tried to mimic how he talked at one point because I was looking for some kind of role model. I didn't have nobody around me. Like the men that was around me, they wasn't doing nothing like that. They was just
Right.
like they was product of the environment. They was worried
Right.
about being in the streets and
Let me tell you something. That movie probably shaped more young men than I would say the film or the filmmakers realize.
hmm
Because it was such a it shows such a positive shift from what I'm saying, from what he was to what he became,
Oh
and
yeah.
how empowering he was to his
Yes.
community. I mean,
Absolutely.
it was something that hadn't been seen up until that point. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it just hit at the right time. But yeah,
hmm
that movie blew me away. I will watch it to this day when it's on. I will watch it all 3 hours and 88
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it definitely had a big impact on my life and so many of us. So when that happened, it changed me. I started reading, and when I started reading, it answered a lot of questions I had about my community and my family, and it started changing me. So a lot of things I had questions like why we do this, why we do that. I got answered in a lot of books I was reading. It started with Malcolm X autobiography.
Got it.
It started with that, but then I read every book I could find on art history, and then from there, I read other books like self development books, books on history, things just to make you all around a better individual, just a better person. But that's what got me through those tough teen years, and I was ready to give it all up. And also came from a toxic environment. When I was 17, I had an uncle tell me I was gay because I read books. Because I was different.
Right.
Because I was
Basically nonsense stuff. Just like, what I'm saying,
yeah,
this ain't, that's
yeah,
people don't understand how toxic that is, how
yeah,
snide remarks and stuff, how they can affect you. I mean, that could have totally, you could have thrown books away at that point. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with less disposition would have said, you know what? If my uncle don't believe in it, then I won't either. Then I'm done with it. I'll try another way, another avenue. You know what I'm saying? Something that's less positive. You could have done that.
right, because it happens to a lot of us. And so, I persevered. I dealt with that, and even my family. I don't be trying to throw them under the bus, but I just tell the truth that we wasn't really very supportive of me. Like as far as because I was different from everybody.
Yeah.
And I started reading everything. Like my mom, like I said, she's always been my number one supporter. If you ever heard me speak, but when I was 15 and she gave me some money for my birthday, I went and bought some books, some African-centered books. She looked at me like I was crazy. Like, you went and bought some books? She said, she went and bought some books, and I was like, yeah. No, she understands now, and she seen how it has shaped me. But that's where I'm coming from, that type of environment. And I remember graduating high school, and my English teacher telling me, "Congratulations, future writer." She said, "I know you can." She said, "You can write for the newspaper and everything." So I went off to college. I went to Wayne State University, which is a university in Midtown Detroit. I graduated with a degree in political science. I was going to be a lawyer, but I decided I didn't want to be a lawyer. So I went on to grad school and got my graduate degree in an MPA. With an MPA degree, that's a Master of Public Administration degree. From there, I went to being a youth counselor, to being a financial aid officer at Wayne State University, the university I graduated from.
Good deal.
And then I started my podcast, Black Man Talk. And from there, I decided to write my book, Black Boy Rise. And for me, that was my path to here. It was a tough road, but that's what got me here.
Well, I tell you what, that we're gonna slide directly into what you just mentioned. Okay. Tell me what inspired the idea for your book.
Well, me going through such a tough time as a youth, and then becoming a youth counselor, it gave me further insight and made me realize that I wasn't alone. Because it was one time I thought I was alone in this world. I didn't think nobody understood my pain or what I was going through, because I felt strange because I couldn't really communicate with the teenagers my own age. Like I couldn't really communicate with my family. I didn't have many people I could really talk to about the pain I was going through, about the hurt, about how sometimes I would honestly cry when I was home alone, and I felt free at home alone when nobody there, because I felt like nobody judging me or making fun of me. So it wasn't a lot of people I could really talk to about my pain. And working with these youth, I realized that, there's so many of us that's going through this. You don't realize what so many other people are going through when you're so young, because all you know is the block and all you know is your community, and you don't think it's nothing outside of that. You just think this is life, and that's it. You know how a lot of us grow up in a city or a neighborhood, and we rarely even leave that city or neighborhood, and don't know it's a whole nother world out there. And these youths I was talking to, man, I thought I had it tough. But some of these young boys have been raped. Some of them have raped, and some of them have murdered. Some of them were waiting for them to reach age 21 to decide if they were going to go to prison for the rest of their life or they were going to go home. And it was a lot of trauma in that, and a lot of trauma in that youth facility that I worked in. And I seen it all. Like some of the stories, I was just surprised. I was just fortunate, to have somebody that cared about me. And I reached the point where I said, I want to share my story with the world. I'm secure enough for myself. I've grown enough. I can talk about my flaws. I can talk about my mistakes with women. I can talk about being played, heartbroken. I can talk about my family issues, loving my grandmother, but even telling about some of the emotional abuse I went through, and that me and my other relatives went through, the verbal abuse, and the things that we rationalize and say that this is just life, it's just how it's supposed to be. I question those things, and this got me prepared to tell my story to the world. And I want to reveal everything. And in my book, I'm not trying to embarrass nobody but myself. I put it all out there, from everything I went through. Some people told me, man, I like your transparency, but it was like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm even prepared to put myself out there like that. But I respect that you did it. But for me, it was just therapeutic to tell the world my story and to let other men know, especially young black men know that you are not alone and that I come from a tough place, and I come from tough circumstances, and I made it through, and you can do it too. So that was like the inspiration for my book to share with the world and let these brothers know first and foremost that you're not alone and that just because you have feelings does not mean you soft or you're punk. You're human.
Why? I mean, I don't know, but I guess I'm not gonna say I don't get it because it's taught. That's one thing that we both have in common, that we
Yeah,
know that this behavior is something that is taught from toddler to middle school to high
yeah,
school.
yeah,
And then we get up and we need these communication skills. We need these uh, to be able to relate, understand rejection, to
mhm,
be able to reciprocate, I'm saying, love in whatever form it may be. And we don't have the skills. We're not
right,
ready. We're not ready
right,
to apply anything.
mhm,
And the world is frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Our mates are frustrated. Our boss man frustrated. We frustrated with ourselves. But you've had 18 plus years of learning how
mhm.
not to communicate well, how
That's right.
not to, right, how not it's like you shooting yourself in the foot. You know what I'm saying? And expecting to run a race. Like
Mhm,
it's just not gonna happen. So man, what you're doing is spot on. A lot of times I talk to people, I'm one of those people. I don't think that there is enough of us doing what we're doing.
mhm,
Because when you get into this field, people are like, well, you got a book out, they got a book out, they got this out. Man, I said we need 1 million people with books out.
we do.
We, we need 1 million people to write books on transparency communication.
Mhm,
How transparent you are in your book is one of those things. It's relatable. When you become
mhm,
transparent, people say, well, you telling your business. Well, I can guarantee you 99% of the things you're writing in that book, somebody can pick it up and says, I know exactly what he's talking about. I
mhm,
understand it to a T. And so now they're
mhm.
drawn in.
Right.
Now they can relate in that fashion. So man, listen, that's what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. Keep pushing
Appreciate that.
and keep doing what you're doing. Tonight, I'm going to ask you a few questions from the Hello Black Man Journal.
Okay.
And what we're going to do here, we're going to start off with. So here's one, and like I said, this is this journal here, and we're going to go straight to question 41. Question 41 simply states, it says, "Hello, Black Man. Describe in detail your most memorable dream."
My most memorable dream, like actually being sleeping dreaming, or just like a goal that I want to accomplish in life.
Um, I would say being sleep. Something
Man,
different.
sleep. Okay.
Yeah. What
Most
can you
memorable dream.
remember?
Oh,
What's one of your most memorable dreams? You had to write it down. Because a lot of
okay.
times we dream and
Yeah.
you'll forget so easy. I know at
Yeah.
my age.
Yeah.
If I don't tell somebody when I wake up, I'm like, man, I dreamed something. It was crazy. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I've had a lot of crazy dreams for sure. Uh, I would say I can't say a specific one
Yeah.
because I do say nightmares wicked when I was a little kid. I would eat all that
Really?
candy and sugar, and I go to bed and clothes in the closet look like people to me and stuff like that. And I used to like to watch a lot of horror movies, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk about the positive things. Like for me, I used to have I used to have the dreams where I would I don't know when I was younger, it was say that I found the girl of my dreams, for example,
Yeah.
and I found riches and fame and all that stuff. Like when I was
Yeah.
younger, and then I
Yeah.
woke up and those were some of the greatest dreams in the world. And then I remember when I woke up, I was mad.
You man, like, come on, man. Like, this
Yeah,
ain't
because
real.
right,
Like,
because
come
I
on,
was in
man.
those. Yeah, so those dreams in particular, I had a couple of those dreams. About everything I wanted to accomplish in life, like it was a girl I liked, I
Yeah.
was crushing on, but I was
Yeah.
scared to talk to her
Oh yeah, I
or
know.
whatever.
You ain't
So
got to about. I know about that. Yeah, I know about
oh yeah, I
that.
know. Yeah, I was scared to say anything to her. But in the dream, she was my lady, and
Yeah.
we was happy, we was well off, and all that. And then I woke up, I was like, damn.
Like,
Like
oh
reality stuff.
man, like man, she still don't know my name. Like man, that girl don't even know my name
Right.
today. I
Right.
had a whole drink. We already together in my dream.
Man, that's that reality for you, boy.
Yeah,
reality is
man.
tough to deal with, but
Hey,
we got to deal with it.
that's dope, man. That's actually dope, man. Like I say, I just push for people to write that kind of stuff down because to have it to pass on to another generation. So when they
Yeah.
going through it, they're like,
Yeah.
man, look, man, the same kind of stuff, the same, you know what I'm saying, the same stuff that he's dealing with, I'm dealing with now. Just to be able to relate, man. So I think that's dope right there.
I think that's dope what you're doing, man. It's powerful. This journal is. We need those. We need that
Yeah,
to pass on from generation to generation.
right. Like I said, people think is selfishly it can be for me. Selfishly, I can help fix me if I help fix me just a few percent.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, to have my son have this in his hand and my grandson have in his hand, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, and get to know me for who I am, not just what I do.
There you
That's
go.
why I think it makes it so cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think make it so cool. Question 39 says, "Hello, black man. Describe your current relationship with your family. Who do you turn to for advice? What about that person makes you feel as if your information is secure?"
Mm. It's a good one right there. Well, I would say there's a couple people I turn to in my family for advice. Do you want a couple people or just like one in particular?
Let's give me two. Let's give me two.
Okay. Well, my mother, number one, because my mother has always been my number one supporter,
Mhm.
and I could tell, honestly, I could tell her anything, and I know that's between us. I'm her
Right.
only son. It ain't too much that's more powerful than a mother's love.
True.
So I'm her only son, and I could talk to her about anything. Like my mama keeps it real with me. She tells me the truth about women. Like when you dating women and you're getting played, she's like, "That girl playing you." I said, "How you know she playing me, mom?" Because I played some of those games when I was younger. Mom. So it's just that, but like even just talking about life when I'm going through anything, I could talk to my mother about it. Like, "Mom, have you ever went through this? Have you ever went through that? How you feel about this? How you feel about that?" And she keeps it 100 with me, and I always feel I can always talk to her about anything. I love going over there. We chilling for the Sunday dinner, and it's just us, and we just sit on the couch and maybe watch TV and just talk about everything we've been through and laugh and talk about grandma back in the day when a lot of the family was around, and I just love that part of it. So
Yeah.
my mom would be number one, and another person. Who would I say? Well, it's strange because I got a older cousin,
Mm-hmm.
but he's incarcerated, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But when I talk to him on the phone, it's like old times. I could tell him anything.
Yeah.
He was the first like man I could really like reveal myself to
Right.
and like
Right.
really talk to about
This what
the
I
stuff
got
I
going
was
on.
yeah, just talk about what was going on, and he would be honest with me about things. Like when I asked him, like one time I said, "Have you ever?" And I talk about women because I know a lot of young brothers be focusing on that. But
Yeah.
first and foremost, we gotta find a purpose to live outside of women. First you gotta have a reason for living because like same with women, like men come and go, women come and go.
Yeah.
But you got still gotta have a purpose, and you gotta have enough fortitude to maintain regardless of who comes, who goes out of your life, because you're dealing with people, and people are not perfect, and we flawed. So people can hurt you intentionally, unintentionally. But
That
that's what.
that's so crazy that you say, not crazy, but that is so, I guess, I don't know, almost prophetic that you're saying that because I guess here in Jackson, we have a lot of violent sprees
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
violent acts and things of that nature. And people are on leadership's necks about
Mhm.
what are they doing about, post haste. Like post haste, what are you gonna do about it? And I just have such a negative, I don't know. It gives me a bad gut feeling because I feel like no one is talking about before this happened, like what has led up to this event.
Mhm.
Like something led up to this violent event, something led up to
Absolutely.
this violent moment.
Mhm.
And normally it's bad communication,
Mhm.
and there's only, well, these days it's different, but normally it's male female problems,
Yeah.
communication,
Yeah.
and more testosterone gets involved,
Mhm.
and events happen. Not
Yeah.
every that's not every case, but
Right.
there are patterns you can follow that where someone could have stepped in or stepped to the side and certain things would not have happened. But that is never the forefront of the story. It's
Mhm.
always, well, what the police gonna do? Well,
Mhm.
if the police not in my house, they don't know me and my old lady arguing every day. They don't know me and
Mhm.
my old lady arguing over this, that, and first one thing and another. So when violence happens, it looks sporadic. It
It
looks
do.
it looks instantaneous, but that's not really what happened. We've been
That's
arguing
right.
for months. We've been back and phone, tracing this, inboxing and calling and checking this. It's building up. It's one of those build up things. You know what I'm saying? And social media makes it to where sometimes it's glorified. I
Mhm.
think some of these
Mhm.
situations get
Mhm.
glorified, and
Mhm.
then when the ball in my court, like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Now, how are you gonna respond to certain things? So, man, I definitely understand that, especially the cousin thing. And we always have that one cousin that seem to have their head on straight just a
Yeah.
little more than the other
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And as a young man, especially, you know what I'm saying, I met my had a father figure for a while growing up.
Mhm.
Mom got divorced, and then I met my real father 10th grade. But I'm around my cousins 24/7, every day at school, every day after school, and stuff like that. So just to have that person to kind of pull you to the side, check on you. Somebody you
Yeah.
can say, hey man, I like that girl. What I supposed to say to her?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That means the world to
It
some
does.
young books,
It
man.
does.
It really does.
And that's what he did for me. I mean, he kept it. He kept it. I say he kept it 100 with me about everything. Like even when I was having questions about my own identity, in the sense of like when I was telling him, like, man, it seemed like all the black women want is the thug guys. When I was
Yeah,
a young, like a teen, telling him that, I was telling him that, he's like, not all of them. There's some girls that want the educated brother.
yeah,
I said, what do you think about me? He said, you a schoolboy. He said,
yeah,
but don't worry about trying to do nothing. He said, because being a thug ain't nothing. He used to tell me something like, look, man. He said, look, he said, I wish I could be on that college campus with you. Instead of being where I'm at right now.
yeah,
Even though he got locked up, we was always tight. He said, I wish I could be out there with you. And I was like, have you ever been like hurt by a woman? He said, dealing with as many women as I dealt with, you gonna be hurt.
yeah.
And it was real. And I didn't have, that guy that was telling me he loved me. He told me he loved me. He was honest about things that a lot of brothers hold in, because we
Yeah.
got this shield we hide.
Oh
But
yeah, you macho, man.
yeah, you myself.
Yeah, super macho. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that just made me feel good to know I had somebody I could really talk to about everything that was going on. Like, some of the most embarrassing moments we go through as teens.
Yeah,
As a young man, some of the
yeah,
most
yeah,
embarrassing moments.
yeah,
I talk about him with it. He's like, I've been there too, man. He's like, every man done done this or that. You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
almost every man done done this or that. And
yeah.
it just felt real good to have
Yeah.
somebody that's gonna be real with
Right, because when you go through certain things, you think I'm the only one this has ever happened to in the history of the world. Like I let the whole mankind down right now. Like
you. Right,
I admit I can't be the example. Like I'm the
right,
example
man.
of what not to do. Yeah,
That's the thing.
trust me.
That's the thing. Yeah,
I understand that, man. So
yeah.
I got a tough one for you right here.
Okay.
It says, "Hello, black man." Question 37 says, "Hello, black man. Explain in detail any trust issues or insecurities you may battle."
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. Definitely have insecurities. I would say one of my insecurities is probably trusting people.
Yeah,
Trusting people to some extent, because uh, I always ask people these questions. I said, how trustworthy you think most people really are? Like, especially in this country, in America, where you got
mm,
a country that really doesn't have like a moral conscience. Like,
none.
it's like you expect it in this country to cheat. You expect in this country to lie. Like, oh, somebody do some dirty stuff to you, like, oh, but that's just how it is. Well, as it's
That's
a
the word of the day. They have to say that's the word of the day.
right,
That's
right.
the world we
That's
live
how it
in.
is. This is what it is. Like,
Yeah,
okay, oh, you should knew she's gonna do all this. It make you think like, can I trust anybody? And the thing is, I because people feel comfortable talking to me, because I got friends, man, that straight from the streets, man, that then cried on the phone with me,
right.
telling me what they was going through, because they know I ain't gonna judge. They know with Trey, you could be yourself.
Yeah,
You know, I tell them, as a man, I didn't shed tears, and I lost loved ones, and sometimes I went through a real tough situation, and shedding the tears was therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you. And I felt renewed. I really did. But just being around people and knowing people that's good people, personally, really knowing people that's good people, and seeing how they've been treated, like in relationships, like knowing some good men,
Right.
and seeing some of the things that women have done to them, or knowing some good people, and just seeing how friends have treated them, family have treated them, and all these things. So when you come up in that type of environment, and sometimes you're really an honest guy, you feel like, am I alone, or was I born in the wrong generation,
Yeah.
or wrong time? You feel alone, and when I trust, like when I love hard, because if you got my back, I got your back. You got a friend or brother for life, and I mean that. And I know it's hard to believe that, because so many people saying that, and then you're like, oh, they doing this, doing that, but I really, really mean that. Like when I'm your friend, or I'm really down for you, I'm really down for you, and I would never encourage none of my friends to do wrong. But it's just when you come up in such an environment where you see people like just think, okay, doing people dirty or doing people grimy is just expected, or I'm only gonna be loyal to uh, my friends in the sense of I won't do nothing dirty to them, but I'll do something dirty to everybody else. I couldn't
Right.
trust a
You know
person like
what?
that.
You tell you something. When I see that man, that's crazy. When I see that, I know that if the right circumstances
Hmm.
present themselves to that associate or that
Hmm.
friend, okay, you telling me about how you got over on somebody. You telling me
Hmm.
about how what you did, and how this worked out in your favor, and they don't know, or they ain't got a clue. All I think in my head is, in due time, you're gonna see an opportunity to do me the same way.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's just a matter of time. It's not. It's not. It's not if. It's when. It's
Hmm.
not if you're willing to do me dirty. It's just when
When,
you gonna do
when,
me dirty.
on that matter of time, and you might, and you know how it is, being an OG like yourself, growing up in Jackson, I'm growing up in Detroit, the same stuff going on,
Yeah.
you know, both from the hood, same stuff going on where we at, and it's like when you see, you see this, man, it just really changes you, but you don't want to go through life thinking like everybody is out to get you, because then you ruin potentially good relationships with
Dead.
some people that might be right to you. Like you go in thinking like every woman gonna do me dirty. Every woman gonna do me dirty. You might actually meet one that's different. I'm saying, so you might be actually different. It's
Right.
possible. Your friend, you might actually be a person that's really different. But you saying you gonna do this, you gonna do all that, and they gonna say, well, I can't trust you. And then then you already put in your mind, and then they finally leave or walk away from you. You say, oh, I knew you was like that from the start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right. You did not already put it out there. You've already like preordained
mhm.
that something bad gonna happen. Yeah,
All right.
it can happen. We we,
So
we
that's
we we definitely do that. I'm definitely I
I've been
guess.
there before too.
Oh yeah, how many
Yeah.
times? How many times, doc?
Hmm.
Um, just being able to, I guess, speak about your insecurities.
Hmm.
Is that something that when you meet people for the first time, um, you know, where it be, at the gym or the grocery store or through your work environment,
Hmm.
is it something that you are conscious when you meet somebody? Say, hey, listen, am I thinking am I trusting until, or am I not trusting until they show me they're trustworthy?
That's a good one. I like that one. I would say, honestly, it depends on the vibe of the person.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like sometimes you might just know, like, I don't like this
Right.
person vibe, his energy, that energy kind of off. Sometimes like I'm a step away from. I could be tripping, but I don't
Yeah.
think I'm tripping. I would say I'm in the past. I would say I was like you was guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that strange thing is that when I learned to be more open to people and opened up a little bit more, in some cases I thought I could trust a person, I got burnt,
Mm-hmm.
and that was real painful. And I remember talking to my mom about this, like even with like even relationships I had been in, like she said, like, you be so cold, they make one mistake and you be done with them. And I say, well, sometimes it's just like you gotta understand that some of us, that pain don't feel good. You know,
Right.
but pain is a good thing because it helps you grow. It tell you what you can deal with, how you can handle it, what your boiling point, what your breaking point is. But the times I opened up more to him, she's like, I kind of feel bad because I told you should open your heart up a little bit more. And when you did, some crazy stuff happened to you.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you know, it is what it is. But I said that helped me, you know, to be open to people, but just be a little more cautious. You know, because sometimes when you used to being around people and they not right, and you meet somebody that seem like they right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just open yourself up. You ready to tell them your life story. You're like, yeah, I finally met somebody. They cool. They know. And then you have people that's out here that's actually come in your life to try to destroy you. There's people out here that's like that. That actually will try to come in a person's life, like, and study them and destroy them, like these,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, like these narcissistic people that's out here. You know,
Yeah.
like it's a real thing. So that's definitely, I would say, one of those insecurities. But I'm open to always open to meeting new people, just good new people.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
like even what I'm doing with you right now, like maybe a couple years ago, I couldn't have done this.
Yeah.
Like just be on there, showing my face, and that even goes still back to some things in childhood.
Right.
Worry about family people seeing me, or he's on
Right.
media. Worry
What he
about
saying? What he talking about? He said something about. Yeah.
all
Right.
of it, you know. And I just got to the point, man. I said I'm only lived once. I done lived enough of my life in shackles.
Yeah.
Even though I was growing, I had knowledge and stuff and all that, and I was different from the people that was around me. It's still many ways I lived in shackles. I didn't really, and I felt I had a gift to give to this world. I have something to say, and so for so long I had like kind of hid myself away from really stepping out there. It wasn't until like late last year I had been doing a podcast 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't until late last year that I started showing my face. It wasn't until this year I started interviewing other people on my podcast and stuff like that. But
Good
now
deal.
I've been doing it a lot, and I'm just showing my face, and it is what it is. I'm not worried about nobody talking about my pink lips, my big nose, none of that. It is what it is. You know,
That's
I
what's
am who
up.
I am, and
Yeah,
I feel
that
really good.
confidence is awesome, man. That confidence is like I said, the old folks say it's coming through your pores, man. So
Yeah.
that's great, man. I heard a quote by DMX.
Hmm.
He's in the studio. We were talking about trust issues and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It says he said trust people. He said
Yeah.
trust people. He's like that's
Uh-huh.
what they do. Trust people. Trust people to be themselves,
There
but
you go.
trust indeed you see them well. He says
Hmm.
he said it takes so much energy not to trust somebody. He says,
Hmm.
but like you said, once you get a bad vibe, you know, you see what that person is. So he
Hmm.
says, so trust that. So you trust it. Your intuition. He said, so don't try to make them be a good person if they feel like they bad, if they feel like they about some humbug and stuff. He says that's the easiest thing. He says trust a snake to bite you, trust a thief to steal from you. You know what I'm saying? I thought
Hmm.
they were so cold, man. He just said
Yeah,
just,
man.
he
Yeah,
said
man.
if they're a thief, trust them.
That's
Trust
right.
them to do exactly what they meant to do or what they've been doing. Uh,
Hmm.
so I thought that was cold, man. We're gonna take
And
a
that's
quick little
powerful, man.
commercial break, huh?
I said that was powerful right there. I
Yeah,
agree.
man. Check that. I'm seeing that link, man. He's in the studio that's kind of talking with some guys, and man, I think DMX was. I think a lot of the things when they go back and do his documentary and
Hmm.
some of the things he's spoken, they're gonna be able to pull out some
Hmm.
nuggets, man.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, he's one of those guys that wrestle with a lot of demons and stuff like that. Uh,
Hmm.
but I think he was so on point with a whole lot of stuff. We're gonna do a quick little commercial break, man, and we'll be right back with Mr. Trey Styles. Hello, black man. This guided journal is being made available to build character, confidence, and define the inner person.
It has been deemed clear that our culture and our past has hindered black men from being open and vulnerable. Hello, black man.
Hello, black man. Man, we're back in the building. We're back in the building, man, with the author and phenomenal speaker, Mr. Trey Styles. How many people say your name and associated with something else?
I know, I know. It's been a couple people like recent, like my first author interview.
Yeah.
The interviewer asked me that, and then it was like a few weeks back. This lady I interviewed with a good sister out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
She had a podcast called "Woke by Accident."
Yeah.
She interviewed me and mentioned it, and then this brother I recently interviewed called All Things Black podcast.
Okay.
He mentioned it to me, and now you just mentioned it to me. Yeah.
Well, listen, I guess one of those things, you know what I'm saying, as we were, I guess, doing our research on you, going through your page and stuff like that, the positive stuff, and all your podcasts and your authors and stuff like that. We try to do our homework.
Sure.
I kept on saying Trey Styles.
Yeah.
Trey Styles, like man, I said, I swear to God, I know that name. She's like, I don't think you know him. I don't think you know him. I said, I don't know. So let me see his picture again. So we went through. I was like Trey Styles.
Right.
Man, that name sounds so familiar. Trey Styles. And then it just hit me like, I said, okay. I said, okay, boys in the hood. I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I know. I mean, how many times did you hear, man, your daddy name Furious Styles? How many times you heard that? I know you know Furious Styles. You know Furious Styles? Like, what, man? Get out of my face.
Yeah. Boys in the hood.
Boys in the hood. Who your football team?
Oh, don't make fun of me. I'm Detroit. I love my city.
Oh, you a Detroit man?
Yeah. I'm Detroit. So Detroit Lions for sure.
Wow,
all Detroit teams are my team.
All Detroit. You all Detroit.
All Detroit.
You a Detroit Tiger fan, a Pistons fan.
All of them.
Hey, you die hard, dog. You die hard.
Yeah, I am. I'm die hard.
You cold blooded. You got to be cold blooded.
I know.
You got to be.
I know.
You a Tiger fan? You a Detroit Tiger fan?
Yeah.
You. Hey, dog, you loyal. You a lawyer. Yeah. You a lawyer, dog, in the hunt, dog.
I thought you would make more fun of the Lions more so than Tigers, though.
Well, I guess it's one of those things where I know one other Detroit Lions fan. I'm 42 years old. You are the second Detroit Lions fan I have met and entertained in my entire life. You the number two. You the number two guy. The other guy is a guy I work with named Joe Stein.
Where he from? Where was he from?
Where is he from originally? He wasn't from here. He wasn't from Mississippi originally. I got to figure out. Let me see what Joe Stein was from. I can look it up real quick because it's one of those things where like, you are what? You like the? I'm talking about he die hard checking the scores every Sunday. Like, dude, you know the line. Like, man, get out of here. He like,
oh man, you gonna go at us like that? Hey, it's sad. Hey, look, it's so funny though because I was like, Mom, you think the Lions won today? No, the Lions ain't won.
He's from Okemos, Michigan.
Okay, he's from Michigan still, so yeah.
Yeah, he's from Michigan. He's from Michigan. Okemos, Michigan is where you're from. Yeah, he's from Michigan.
Yeah, I love my Lions though, but it's weird because you from Jackson. I know the brother Chokwe Lamumba.
Yeah,
y'all former mayor one of the past. I know his son, I believe, is the mayor down there now. They from Detroit. Y'all got a little Detroit blood down there.
Okay, good deal. I got people in Detroit right now. I got actually a first cousin in Detroit right now. She does finances and stuff like that up there. She left after graduation and hadn't set foot back. She come for events and stuff like that, but her people in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? All her mom's people was in Detroit. So when she graduated, she booked up. She's been in Detroit ever since.
Wow, yeah. I got to visit Jackson one day too. I got to come to Mississippi.
You've never been to Mississippi? Never.
I've been to I've been like Alabama, but Georgia, but I've never been to Mississippi. I don't actually have no known family down there, but I still want to come down there.
I guarantee you got family down here. I guarantee.
You're right for sure. I definitely got family down there.
Yeah,
but just nobody I actually know for sure.
Yeah, it is about connecting some dots. I guarantee you. I tell anybody from Chicago, anybody from Detroit, anybody from anywhere above this line that you got a cousin.
Oh yeah,
I got a cousin in Mississippi. It might be second cousin, third cousin, or something, uncle, auntie. you better believe you got to. Well, I'm actually, I really in football, I'm not in no better shape because I'm a Washington fan, and I can't say Washington Redskins no more, but I'm a Washington football team guy. And my other two teams are kind of different. I guess I'm a Knicks fan, so I had some painful years
Yeah.
being a Knicks fan. Some
Mm.
pain. I had to go through the Jordan years, and these
Oh, yeah.
last 10 years ain't won nothing. And baseball, I'm a Yankees guy. I've been a Yankees man. I've been a Yankees guy forever. They're just who I always roll with. I couldn't get down with Atlanta Braves. I know they were close,
Yeah.
but I was just, my mom was a big Atlanta Braves fan.
Mm. That's interesting right there.
I got some crazy teams, man. I'm an underdog guy. I mean, I was with the Yankees when they wasn't winning. You know, the Redskins ain't did no whole lot of winning.
Right.
You know, the Knicks ain't won no championship since '78. So, so I'm kind of
you loyal too, man. You loyal
right
too.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. Question 35 in the journal says, "Hello, black man. Discuss a time when you allowed your anger to overcome you. How were you able to calm yourself? What did it feel like after the fact?"
What's the time I love? Gotta think about this. Would it be anger? I know pretty much I've really been like, I'm really a calm, cool, and collected guy. Like, honestly, I really be real cool. But I can think back to my teen years when I got peer pressure into fighting. I was sitting at the desk. I was back in 8th grade. I was sitting at the desk, and this guy who I formerly was cool with. We wasn't friends. We was cool though. We would talk here and there. He walked by my desk and bought a piece of paper that was on my desk and threw it away. It was a blank sheet of paper. And then my friends at the time said, "Ooh," it was like, "Ooh," they're like, "Ooh." He was like, it's like, "Dog, he threw away your homework. He threw away your homework." And so, you know, when that happens, everybody in the classroom gets still.
Yeah.
Everybody looking, they locked in on y'all now. And I'm going through peer pressure, you know, puberty. So the girls are in there, then my friends right here. And on type of environment we grew up in, I didn't want nobody thinking I was no punk. So I said, why you throw my paper away? He was like, his response was, "It wasn't nothing on it. It wasn't no big deal. It wasn't nothing on it."
Right.
So I got up and I pushed him. He pushed me.
When you get up at that point, you got to make something shake.
And then, you know, we end up fighting, and it's so weird because I'm like, of course I knew it wasn't no homework. It was a blank sheet of paper. And me and him never spoke ever again. Ever. And when we went to, after that, we was in the same high school in the biology class. He was sitting next to me. I was sitting next to him. And we never ever spoke again. That was back 8th grade. We never spoke again. When we were sitting in that biology class in high school, which was 2 years later, the teacher asked us, "Y'all fell on the part of the work where he went his way and I went my way." And that's so weird. Like, we was teens, and how we conditioned as young black men in particular. Like, we never spoke again, and we was formerly cool.
You know in life, y'all didn't speak again.
Never again. Never saw him. Like, no, I haven't seen him since high school, but you know, it was crazy.
Right here. Do you know the man's name?
I do.
Man, listen. This is what I want you to do. I want you to reach out to that dude, man. I want you to reach out to him and say, "Hey, man, you know what? I don't know if you remember this or not. I guarantee you he remember it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he does.
Yeah.
And just for you to say, "Hey, man, this is what happened that day," I guarantee you it will be a great thing out both of y'all. Just reach out to him, man, and say, "Hey, man, you know what? I was young, dumb. I didn't want to fight you. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't at all want to fight.
But like I said, but once you get in that position to where everybody's looking, that the testosterone, the fear, your heart beating, you know what I'm saying? And if you sit back down, you're a chump forever to them.
Yeah. And then you know how it is. Like, see, the women we grew up around, they a product of the environment too. No girl wants to be associated with a guy that's a punk who got his butt
right.
whipped.
You let people ball your homework up.
I remember, look, let me tell you about this. I was in high school. I was on my way to graduate. I had just turned 18, and I was walking up the steps from lunch, and the guy had pushed me. and I knocked his hand down. And he's like, don't do that, dog. He's like, don't do that, dog. I was like, what's up then? You know, it was just me standing face to face. By this time, I was really into my study and I was real disciplined. But
Yeah.
you know, you still got to stand up for yourself. You know how it is
Yeah.
where we come from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he didn't want to do nothing. So as I'm walking up the steps, I see him and my 4 other guys start walking behind me. So I'm like, oh man. I said, no, it's about to go down now. So I got to the steps and put my books down, and he pulled a gun on me, like in my high school. He pulled a gun out on me in high school, and I was shocked. Shockingly, I said, put the gun down. It was a little bit of that ego, but it was also, you know, me trying so I wasn't afraid of nobody, even though I was more mature than I was when I was 14.
Yeah.
You know, had knowledge of self by this time and all that. But but luckily, you know, if he had been a guy that was full of ego, he could have felt pressured and shot me, and I wouldn't be here with you right now. But what happened is another guy came from around, and I'm focusing on them. And so another guy came around. I didn't even see him. He came around, boom, and caught me. You know, sneak shots are the best shots.
Yeah.
And they started, started stumbling. So all I could do is really curl up.
Yeah.
I grabbed this one guy's foot. I was trying to grab his foot to get some kind of revenge.
Yeah.
But he got away. And then I got up, somebody hit me from the back, and I was like, boom. You know, so that was weird because me being an 18-year-old and my mom came up there, was pissed off. You know, our family came up there. You know, they wanted to set it off. You know, but I'm glad.
At that point, nothing you can say right. Ain't nothing. At that point, you're like, come on. We don't want to hear it. Shut up.
No, nothing. But it took so much for me, man, even as an 18-year-old, not to shed a tear because I felt so violated. I felt humiliated, you know, and I felt like, you know, I felt like I had to do something. And good thing I had just went to that school because I was spent most of my high school time at another school. So I went to school in a neighborhood I didn't know nothing about. So it was all kind of kids in different schools.
Yeah.
I left a public school to finish off at a charter school. So when I was in there, it was weird that, you know, that had happened to me, and I went to the other school, which was known to be tougher, and it never had happened to me. But it took a lot of those next 3 days, and I went to my senior penny because, you know, I talked to my uncle, and I was like, man, what I need to do something. He said, what you better do is mind your business. He said, because see, you don't have a crew in there. They got their crew in there. You ain't even from that school and all that. And I talked to other men in my family. They said, like, yeah, just let it go. My mom wanted me to press charges. We went to the police station. I said, no. Of course, you know where we come from. That too, I wasn't gonna press charges and all that. It was like about getting some get back. But I went back to the school and it took a whole lot of courage to deal with that. Because my first day back to the school, I had a knife in my book bag. Now, when I walked into the school, they had metal detectors in the school. Now, when that happened to me, they had metal detectors, but the metal detectors wasn't even plugged up until a gun got pulled on me. So as I walk into the school with the knife in my book bag, I walk up to the front. The security officer is scanning me, and he looked at me. He looked at me real strange for a minute. He just looked at me, and me and him was just looking at each other for like 3 seconds. I was thinking to myself, like, why are you looking at me like that? Why, as he was scanning me, he said, just go ahead, man. And I went to my locker, and I realized I had that knife, and I was like, damn. Now I was 18. That could have changed a lot for me too if I had got caught with that knife in that school, you know, because I forgot I had the knife in the book bag. Yeah, I forgot I died. But I went through the school and, you know, I heard people tell. It was weird because after that happened to me, nobody knew me because I wasn't popular there. Yeah. But I remember walking to this classroom to drop something off to my old teacher. They was like, that's the boy that got jumped. So, you know, everybody said that. So now everybody looking at me, I'm like, oh, man. Inside, I'm like, I'm inside. I'm like, damn. I'm trying to look straight and they all looking at me and all. Then this girl who I thought was fine came over. She's like, who I was checking out. I was telling, boy, she's real fine. And I wanted her. For some reason, she came over there. The girl I thought was the flies in school. She don't come over there and say, why they, she this, you know, the ghetto girl, she's like, why they jump you?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know. She said, you a punk? I said, no, I ain't no punk. It was like 5 or 6 of them. What I was supposed to do? She said, so they just whooped your A? I said, she's just over there grilling me. I'm just looking at her like, man.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm calling her all type of names, but I ain't said that to her. I'm like, she gonna get out my face. Then she started talking crazy, like, oh, you got a goatee, that's nice. So she eventually left me alone and all that. Yeah. And I remember going through, I heard guys in school saying, that's the N-word y'all beat up. So you just imagine going through all that as a teen, and you know,
man, that sweating, that pressure, that nervousness, like from class to class, can't wait for school to be out. Like, leave when school get out.
So that was a real tough time right there, but I made it through, and you know, and I'm glad I didn't do nothing, you know, because it could have ended up any kind of way. I sucked that up, and you know, I made it through, and my life just got better and better after that.
Man, that's what's up. Listen, don't forget the guy that balled that paper up.
Mm-hmm.
They got about that paper, man. Reach out to that dude. I promise you, man. They say, hey, man, what up, man? It's Trey. I got a book out. I'm going to shoot it to you. This what happened, man. We could be best friends right now. I don't know, but this what happened. I promise you that dude going to be like, it's one of those moments. Like, I got those moments in my life where I look back on certain situations where me and somebody was cool and nothing happened. Like nothing significant happened. And it just kind of changed the trajectory of, how cool we were. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, it's like, I don't know what happened. Like this happened when he said that and somebody said they said, and, little stuff like that. I got one more question for you. We're going to wrap up on the hour. Hello, black man. Discuss your financial goal. Describe your idea of financial stability. What is your goal from a financial standpoint?
Well, honestly, because I grew up in poverty, like working class, working poor community, I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to be poor and have those poor days. For me, ideally, my financial goal, I wanted to. Actually, I don't really have a set amount. I just wanted to get to a position where, I can't say in a way because I do say ideally I would like to be like a millionaire, well off.
Oh yeah,
Like ideally. So I want, because I want to live. I want to be able to pick up if it's the middle of the week. If I want to go to Africa, I want to go to Jamaica. I just want to be able to pick up and go and not have to worry about, setting, like budgeting as much.
right.
I want to be able to just be able to get up and go. Yeah, be comfortable. Like if I say, man,
I need that.
Yeah, I'm booking the trip today or whatever. I shot when I'm there. That's the kind of position I want to be in.
Yeah,
that type of position. So I definitely want to be well off, and so that's my idea really of financial stability.
Yeah,
I want to be able to. I want to be able to, have all my necessities, but have some of my wants too.
Yeah,
and I definitely want to do a lot of traveling. So that would be financial stability to me. Just being able to live life to the fullest. And I ain't talking about necessarily having, the fancy cars, the biggest houses, but just being able to, to live and not have to worry about, the lights being cut off and,
all right,
the gas and stuff like that. So that's my idea of financial stability. But I definitely want to be well off. Definitely want to live large. I definitely want to do that. But not lose the goodness of my character. I'm not willing to do anything bad or to harm others to accomplish those things. I want to do it with dignity. So that's what my ideal of financial stability.
That's a win, man. Hey, man, tell the people what's next for you. What's next for Trey Styles? What you got coming up? What you working on right now? Your current projects or upcoming projects?
Well, ideally for me, I'm still promoting my book Black Boy Rise, which you can find on Amazon via paperback or ebook. But I'm currently working on another book. I'm still working on the concept of how I want to, or what angle I want to come with from the book. But so before this year out, I want to have that book out, or at least the beginning of next year. And next year, I want to do some sort of documentary on Black men. So those are the things that's in the work for me right now. So that's right now, that's what I'm working on.
Man, listen, man, you put it out, man. We're gonna promote it, man. We appreciate your time, your effort, man. You're doing some phenomenal things. Just keep at it, man. Just keep at it. With your consistency and what you're producing, just your vibes you're giving off to our community. Hope we're soaking this kind of stuff up and following the lead of people that are trying to lead.
Yes.
Sometimes we lead people that they don't want to lead and you following them behind them. But, a brother like yourself that you're trying to be a leader, I hope that we are recognizing it as a community and falling in line, listening. Everybody go and pick up that book. I dropped the picture. Make sure you come back in the comments below. Drop your link to your Amazon or website or wherever, so people now or after in 5 years can come back to the link and grab a hold to your book, man. We appreciate you coming on, Trey. It's been a phenomenal time, man. Listen, we're gonna pray for the Detroit Lions. That's what we.
Oh, you wrong, man. You wrong for that. That's cool. I'm gonna pray for the Knicks as well. They did make the playoffs this year. They did make the playoffs this year, though. But go ahead and pray for the Lions. We all need to be in prayer about them.
That's all good, man. Appreciate your time, Trey. Appreciate it, dog.
Right.
Anything else?
Peace, man.
Yes, sir. Peace. All right. Mr. Trey Styles, man, been on with y'all this evening, man. Cool guy. Listen, man, he's a Detroit native. And listen, that's one of those guys, listen, he's down for the city. He down for the city. It's Detroit Lions, Detroit Tigers, Detroit Pistons, man. Listen, I hope the city gets behind this young man, encourages him, supports him. Go grab that book, Black Boys Rise, and man, you need to be a part of this guy's movement. The books are on Amazon. Black Boy Rise, Arise by Trey Styles. Black Boy Arise by Trey Styles. You can Google it. It's on Amazon. Just a phenomenal time. What? We got another Lions fan? What the world going on? Man, y'all, it's three. You the third guy. So, man, great time tonight on the Hello Black Man podcast. Listen, don't forget, we'll end the banner with just ways you can get in contact with us. HelloBlackMan.com, the Instagram, the Twitter, and the YouTube, man. Listen, this is all about transparency and communication. Getting to know another young man, some things he's went through, some things he has transpired from. It's just been a phenomenal time. So thank y'all for joining us, man. If you catch this broadcast, podcast today, tomorrow, next week, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a share. Let us know you're out there. Let us know you're listening. Let us know you care. Hey, man, we're out. Hello, Black Man.